far as gaming is concerned, I don't think any license has as much a burden as James Bond. GoldenEye 007 is up there with the likes of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon Ball FighterZ, the first two Batman Arkham games, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Unlike the majority of these licenses, it appears no James Bond game, especially as a first-person shooter, comes close to GoldenEye's reception. In my view, that's unfair, as I always thought 007 as a license is up there with Star Wars on the amount of quality games. And to me, one of those first-person shooters just behind GoldenEye with quality was 007 Nightfire, which was developed by Eurocom and published by EA. And how does this shooter fare after all these years? Let's find out. The story of 007 Nightfire assigns James Bond to investigate an industrialist named Raphael Drake, which gives him objectives from spying on Drake at his parties to defending a witness, and infiltrating companies and installations associated with Drake's company, Phoenix. It's about as basic as a James Bond plot goes, but it works. On to the gameplay, and 007 Nightfire, like GoldenEye, The World Is Not Enough, and Agent Under Fire, Nightfire is a first-person shooter, with the focus being on espionage, though the game is open enough for guns blazing action as well. Alongside all the guns to pick up, Bond also has an assortment of gadgets to use at his disposal, like his laser watch to disable wires, circuitry, or locks, a Palm Pilot that hacks into keypads, and a grappling hook inside of a phone. Because Q-Branch. As for the guns, including James's pistol, which can be upgraded via unlocks, each has a secondary mode, from silencers to more focused burst shots from automatic weapons. Hell, the same goes for the more over-the-top weapons, like a machine gun with a backup explosive launcher. It works as you'd expect, so no complaints there. Moving on to the levels, and to give a bigger feeling, 007 Nightfire's first-person shooting levels are split into multiple parts. Sometimes it's 3, other times it's 4, but I find it tough to complain when quite a bit of them give Bond a bit more freedom in how to handle them. For instance, in the second mission, when you have to sneak into Drake's castle, you can either sneak besides the wall or inside a delivery truck. On the 5th mission in Japan, you can tripes the castle the old-fashioned way to rescue a hostage, or sneak in underwater, stealthily taking out Yakuza swine holding the hostage, making it one of the Bond moments that rewards you at the end of the level. But Nightfire has more than just first-person shooting. Hell, the first mission alone starts with an on-rails segment with a sniper rifle, before introducing you to a driving segment, showing you the amount of gadgets the car has. It has its moments, but the driving can feel a little slippery at times, even when you aren't on ice. Shockingly, the best driving level, in my view anyway, is where the car converts into a submarine. One of the only few times a water level doesn't make me want to rage so much, sans one time-sensitive part chasing a craft. Still, between the driving and the on-rail segments, they both do give a refreshing breakup between the first-person shooting, and just adds to variety and do well at the attempt of reenacting a James Bond movie despite the game's original plot. But we shouldn't forget about the multiplayer mode. And I'm glad to say that for a Gen 5 game with no online support, not even for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions, Nightfire is well packed. You got your standard shooter fare like Arena, Capture the Flag, and King of the Hill, but you also got modes that fit the James Bond mood, like GoldenEye Rush. Even with bots, the game is fun, but you wish it came out in a time when the PS2 and Xbox had their online support launched, but hey, at least GameCube owners didn't feel too left out. On to the visuals, and while my recording equipment doesn't show the best of it on the right screen, the game looks pretty damn good for a multiplat on the GameCube. The character models look well detailed, down to the point where Bond matches his looks with his then actor Pierce Brosnan, and even the environments look gorgeous too, especially between Drake's castle and the Japanese mansion. The driving levels even look great too. As for the sound, it's that James Bond flair of jazz and rock, again emulating the mood of the films at the time quite well. In the console versions, a lot of these tracks are by Steve Duckworth, who did an amazing job mixing Western music with Egyptian music in Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, and I picked up some of the tracks he's worked on with that style I heard in the later game. Like in Mayhew's Mansion, I picked up the James Bond jazz mixed with the Japanese instruments. Again, it sounds great. Credit also goes to the voice cast. While Pierce Brosnan loaned his likeness, he didn't voice Bond until Everything or Nothing. But I was surprised with his voice double, Maxwell Caulfield, who brings his own with the suave spy.
What you're looking for is locked in my bedroom safe. This is the key. Just feed it to the dragon.
The dragon?
Right.
Keep your head down. I'll be back for you.
There's also a character, Kiko Hayashi, played by Tamlin Tomita, who you might recognize from The Karate Kid Part 2 and Cobra Kai. And yeah, she's a badass.
Bond may have penetrated our security. Lock down the sector at once and deactivate all access codes but my own.
Right away, Miss Hayashi.
I'm going to do a full sweep of this facility. Remain at your post and stay alert.
Understood, Miss Hayashi.
Overall, 007 Nightfire is perhaps the second best first-person shooter in the James Bond franchise. Solid gunplay and gameplay variety, even if the driving could be a little better. Plus a solid story and great multiplayer make it worth a pickup, mainly if it's on consoles like the GameCube, PlayStation 2, or Xbox. PC version? A story for another day. Maybe.